Okay, we're going to move on to green, and you're going to see that, unlike black, green is a lot more creature heavy. So we're going to start off with a few non-creature spells in green. Rancor, Rampant Growth, pretty good if you're planning on going in a few colors. Recollect, Kodama's Reach. One Kodama's Reach will fix your mana even if you're playing 3 colors. If you can play Kodama's Reach, you will have all your colors. Bramble Crush hits trouble lands, enchantments, artifacts. Creeping Mold, same thing. Honden of Life's Web. It gives you a lot of 1/1 creatures. And 1 dozen eyes. Gives you the option for 6 mana to get a 5/5 beast or 5 1/1 green insects. Or for 9 mana you can do both with Entwine. And finally, Desert Twister. It just destroys a permanent. Green doesn't really have the option of destroying a lot of creatures, so this helps. So we're going to move on to the creatures in green. Starting with Elf of Deep Shadows. It's Llanowar Elf that taps for a black and does 1 damage to you when it does so. Wild Nakati. If you end up in green-red or you end up in green-white, it's never a 1/1. Llanowar Elf. Joraga Treespeaker. Vine Trellis. And the list for each color should be in the description. Strangleroot Geist. Silhana Ledgewalker. She's nice because she can't be blocked except by creatures with flying, and she also has hexproof. So you pump her up with Rancor or an equipment and she can definitely go to town. Elvish Visionary. Sakura Tribe Elder. Again, can help you get all your colors when you're playing multiple colors, which you normally will be. Wood Elves. It'll always just get you a basic forest. Viridian Shaman can get rid of equipments pretty much, or artifact creatures. Carven Caryatid. Caryatid. It's a 2/5 blocker that also draws your card when it comes into play. It's a good early game to keep off an aggressive deck if you're facing down an aggressive deck. Eternal Witness is pretty self-explanatory and is probably a first pick a lot of the times. Yavimaya Elder, again, another way to get all your colors if you're playing 3 or 4 colors. Basically, if you're playing 3 or more colors, it's very helpful if green is one of those colors. Civic Wayfinder, again. Borderland Ranger, again, the same thing. Wolfir Avenger. It's 3 for a 3/3 with flash and regeneration. Pretty solid. Leatherback Baloth is pretty green heavy, but the beauty of playing green as you've seen so far is that you can probably get the 3 green you need by 5th turn or so. And even on 5th turn, this guy is 3 green for a 4/5. It's pretty solid and limited. Blastoderm. This guy is a lot of trouble. 4/4/5/5 with Shroud is really strong. Really, really strong. Even with the Fade in, this guy is a problem. And the white version has proven that a lot in this cube so far. Rootin' Kavu. It's 4/4/4/3, but when he's put into a graveyard from play, you may remove him from the game. And if you do, you get to shuffle all creature cards from your graveyard into your library. When you're playing limited, only 40 cards in your deck, that could be very relevant. Getting some of your creatures back. Since green doesn't really have a lot of flyers, and in a common and uncommon cube, that's even more true. We have a few spiders in this cube. So Penumbra Spider, it's 4/4/2/4 with reach, obviously, but when it dies, you get a 2/4 black spider with reach token. Primal Huntbeast, you pump this guy up and he can go to town because he has hexproof, so he's very, very hard to deal with in this cube. Karstaderm, another undercosted creature. So this one's 4/4/5/5. Comes into play with 5 1/1 counters, and whenever artifact comes into play, you remove a 1/1 counter from him. And even though there is a lot of artifacts in the cube, you'd be surprised. Because you're drafting, sometimes people just don't draft the artifacts, or they don't play them, or you just don't face someone who has the artifacts. So a lot of times he just remains a 5/5 for 4 mana, and that's pretty big. Vital Splicer, it's 4/4/1/1, but he gives you a 3/3 colorless artifact golem, and he has the ability to regenerate a golem you control. Phantom Centaur, this card's really good, and if you're facing someone that's playing black, he's pretty strong. It's 4 mana. It's basically 4 mana for a 5/3, because it's a 2/0, but he comes into play with 3 1/1 counters, and if damage would be dealt to him, you prevent that damage and remove 1/1 counter from him instead. Pretty strong. Changeling Titan, it has a champion a creature because it's every creature type, but 5 mana for a 7/7, and you remove a creature you control of whatever type when he comes into play, and when he leaves play, you return the creature. Stingerfling Spider, it's 5/2/5 with reach, but this card's pretty solid in the fact that when it comes into play, you can just straight up destroy a creature with flying. It's like I said, it's normally one of green's weaknesses, especially in this setting, but this cube has a lot of ways in green of dealing with flyers. Acidic Slime, it's just a really solid card. It deals with trouble lands, artifacts, or enchantments. Even artifact creatures this can hit, so that's pretty solid. Sentinel Spider, yet again, it's 5/4/4/4 with vigilance and reach. So not only can this guy deal with flyers, but with vigilance, a 4/4 body can be pretty strong on the offensive as well. Vorstclaw, this is classic green. It's 6 mana for a 7/7 vanilla creature. Just pure value. And this is what green does. It should have some of the best creatures. Deadwood Treefolk is a way to get your creatures back when he comes into play and when he leaves play. Brutalizer Exarch is a tutor and a way to tuck trouble permanents, trouble non-creature permanents. So he's actually pretty good in this cube too. I've lost to him before in this cube. Gravetiller Wurm, it's 6 mana for a 4/4 trampler, but it has morbid. So when it enters the battlefield, if a creature died this turn, it gets 4 1/1 counters. So then it's 6 mana for 8/8 trampler if you do it right. Symbiotic Beast, this is kind of old school, coming from Onslaught. 6 mana for a 4/4, but when it dies, you get 4/1 on green insects, and that's relevant. That could be the different that could get through for lethal. Carnage Wurm, it's 7 mana for a 6/6, but it has Bloodthirst 3. So, it could come into play as a 9/9, and it also has Trample. Krosan Tusker. This is another way that you can fix your mana when you're in multiple colors. For 3 mana at instant speed, you can cycle it and search for a basic land, and also draw a card. Or you can pay 7 mana and have a 6/5 beat stick. Archweaver is a 5/5 with reach and trample for 7 mana. So another way to say no to flyers. Pelakka Wurm, this is probably one of the best creatures in the cube. And in my opinion, I've probably said this in deck text before, but this guy could have been a rare, and I don't think anyone would have argued. So a really, really solid card in this cube. Maul Splicer. I know it's 7 mana for a 1/1, but when it comes into play, you get to put 2 3/3 colorless golem creature tokens into play. And golems you control have trample. So you're still getting 7 power and 7 toughness for 7 mana. It's just in the form of 3 different creatures. If you need blockers, this is pretty solid. Guardian of the Cloverdale. It's 7 mana for a 4/5. But when it comes into play, you get 3 1/1 tokens. And you can sack 1 to gain a life. And finally, Walker of the Grove. At 8 mana, this guy is a 7/7. You can cast him with Evoke for 5. And when he leaves play, you get a 4/4 token. So if you pay, you can pay 5, Evoke him, and just get a 4/4 token. So that's green. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.